Have you noticed the chorus lately? From restaurant windows to corporate boardrooms, everywhere you look, there's a frustrated complaint echoing through the economy. Nobody wants to work anymore. But we have to ask ourselves, is that actually true? Are millions of people suddenly allergic to effort, or are they simply rejecting the modern conditions attached to that effort? Let's get the historical baseline straight. Human beings are not inherently lazy. For thousands of years, our survival demanded grueling, relentless labor from dawn until dusk. We've manually carved farms out of wilderness and built soaring skyscrapers by hand, often risking our lives hundreds of feet in the air just to earn a living. We are wired to build, to strive, and to risk everything to create. People do not avoid work. They avoid labor that feels exploitative, disconnected from purpose, or mathematically impossible to survive on. For the better part of a century, modern society operated on an unwritten agreement. It was the structural blueprint that built the middle class. The terms were straightforward. You put your head down, you give a company your loyalty, and in exchange, the system rewards you with a stable, predictable life. The unwritten agreement is dissolving in real time. We are seeing a structural voiding of the social contract as the world moves toward a different economic reality. This chart shows exactly where the foundational promise of the American economy broke down. The bottom line represents average wages, remaining relatively flat over recent decades, while the top line, the cost of living, climbs aggressively away from it. Look closer at that top line. The basic pillars of survival, housing, healthcare, and education, have experienced explosive price hikes, completely eclipsing whatever small raises a worker might earn. Imagine dedicating 40 to 50 hours of your week, every single week, and still feeling the constant, terrifying sensation of slipping backward. Eventually, a very logical question emerges. What is the point? The rejection of work we are seeing today happens because the reward is now entirely disconnected from the effort required to obtain it. In previous eras, a worker judged their success by looking out the window at their immediate neighbors. Today, the window is a screen, and the baseline for comparison is the entire globe. Every single day, people log on and see tangible alternatives to the corporate grind. They watch remote workers set their own hours and see freelancers building independent wealth, entirely bypassing traditional corporate structures. High-speed connectivity has introduced a new level of awareness. Once the internet reveals that a traditional office job is only one of many ways to earn a living, the workforce loses its tolerance for rigid, outdated career paths. Then came the ultimate catalyst. Millions of people were suddenly forced to step off the treadmill as the global economy ground to a halt. In that forced silence, workers had time to reflect. They recognized the toxic environments they had been tolerating, the extreme lack of flexibility, and the harsh reality that they were merely surviving rather than actually living. Now, as workers demand purpose and flexibility, the old guard looks at these new expectations, points at younger generations, and labels them entitled. But history shows us a different pattern. The things we accept as standard today, the 2-day weekend, paid vacation time, basic safety laws, were all heavily protested and dismissed as radical entitlement by the managers of their era. This friction marks the inevitable evolution of societal expectations. The current generation is following a long historical tradition of challenging old norms to define a better standard for the future. So, do people want to work? Yes. We still crave achievement. We want purpose and the financial security required to enjoy our lives. What we are refusing to do is sacrifice our physical health, our relationships, and our futures for rewards that the system no longer delivers. The system is currently suffering from a total collapse of faith. The bond between effort and outcome has broken, leaving behind a void where the social contract used to be. Until trust in the unwritten agreement is rebuilt and hard work actually guarantees a better life, this friction is here to stay.